We are turning our attention back to yesterday's All-Ireland, though. It was Limerick finally getting over the line once again, their second All-Ireland in 3 years. Delighted to say now that we've got John Kiely and Declan Hannon with us. Good morning to you, lads. How are you getting on?
Morning. Good morning.
Massive congratulations. Declan, how's the head?
Great. Absolutely fantastic.
How does last night go in the middle of a pandemic? How does an All-Ireland winning captain celebrate an All-Ireland like that?
Sure, you get to train home to Limerick and go home to your home house, and that's it. We had a bit of fun though, in fairness. There was a few sing-songs and different bits and pieces with the group, so it was fantastic. It was fabulous. It was I suppose it was nice that we were all together, and that there wasn't thousands upon thousands of people with us. You know, it was nice, and it was just nice to have that group together after the match, and we're absolutely over the moon.
The great Kieran Carey was on with us earlier, Declan. He said he'd been texting Cian Lynch and he got the reply from Cian at 5:05 this morning. So there was obviously there were different celebrations for different players.
Well, Cian dropped me home now at 3 o'clock, so no, 10 and 5.
This is the great thing about your situation, is that you got to experience the pandemonium of having a hill full of Limerick fans, Thomond Park afterwards, or the Gaelic grounds afterwards, and all the throng of supporters back in Limerick after winning the All-Ireland in 2018. And then this year it's actually a bit more chilled out, a bit more quiet. You actually get to appreciate these moments a little bit more, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you get to, I suppose after 2018, a lot of players were being pulled and dragged from pillar to post, and you hadn't a lot of time to meet the people you wanted to meet. So I suppose this time around we'll be able to, meet our family a lot quicker, I suppose, and that's a fantastic thing. I can't wait to go out and meet Mum and Dad and my brother. So I'm looking forward to that. But it's just over the moon this morning. I'm just delighted. So
Cian Lynch went till 5 a.m. John, did you go till 6 a.m?
Absolutely not. No, I was well tucked up in my bed now, I can tell you, and. Yeah, it was lovely this morning though to be at home and to wake up and to wake the lads and send them off, to school, and to meet them before they went off to school. So, that wouldn't happen normally. We'd be in Dublin and the kids would be at home. So yeah, it was actually nice in its own way. Nice in its own way.
How satisfying?
John, it must be.
Sorry. Go on,
I was going to say probably the same thing, John. It must be incredibly satisfying when you did get home last night. You do suddenly probably have time to think about it a lot earlier than you would have in the normal scheme of things, to sit down on the couch and go, you know what, on the biggest day of the year, my team delivered.
I think that process is probably only just beginning, really, to be honest. But Declan will tell you that my focus wasn't really on the performance on the way home last night. I was more worried about the sing-along than I was about anything else. But, listen, we had a lovely evening together as a group, which is something that we really value, our time together. And, we waited so long to have last night. And, we've done everything the best we possibly could over the last 12, 13 months in order to put ourselves in that position and to give ourselves a chance. And when the chance came, we took it. And that is, as you say, extremely satisfying. I suppose we won't really probably appreciate it for quite some time, but it is at the same time very satisfying for us to be here at home and to have done what happened yesterday and to put in the performance the players put in yesterday. There's huge credit due to those players. They're incredible men, and I'm very, very fortunate to be working with them.
Go on then, Declan. Talk us through that journey home, the sing-song. Who's leading the way? What's John Kiely's song? What's your song?
Sure, John's song's the piano, man. I throw out Caledonia. Seamus Flanagan could sing anything. You come out with anything, I don't know. But it was lovely to have a bit of crack there. Like we've been, I suppose, everybody has been starved for the past year, and just in the dressing room to have a bit of fun. It was fantastic. Like, and the creatures really like a sing-song and a few bottles of beer, and we were happy out.
Who's the chief singer? Who is the best at the lot? Is there anybody with more than an ounce of talent?
That's the man, John Kiely.
John's the man, yeah. John's the man for the singing.
Bit of Billy Joel, John.
Well, you got the one, so we'll make a good job for this plus.
John, can I ask you, as a manager, how much satisfaction yesterday brings, just on a purely hurling level, just about how last year ended? You mentioned the 13-month journey that it was to get to yesterday. A lot of people would have had you as favourites last year, and things perhaps didn't go to plan at times last year. It's never a guarantee that you get back to the promised land and actually get back to winning that second All-Ireland. How much does that play into the satisfaction you feel this morning, knowing that you have doubled down what happened 2 years ago, proving that you are the best team in the land?
Yeah, listen, it was incredibly difficult. Maybe last August, when we were out of the championship, and we felt we had a great opportunity at that time to push on again, and we just didn't take it, and that's the bottom line. So, to go back to the training fields in November and December, January and February, we worked really, really hard, and there was a great sense of purpose about what the boys were about, and we knew that we were going to try and give ourselves another chance this year. And really, it's all about taking opportunities and seizing opportunities, creating opportunities, not just in the games, but throughout the season, and to try and be there when it really matters in those last couple of games of the season as well. So very happy that the lads, found a way to, be consistent in their performances, have that hunger and desire to work hard, and that we had that unity of purpose as a group to get back to Croke Park, to perform in Croke Park, and to give ourselves another opportunity. And if you keep giving yourselves opportunities, you will eventually take them. So that was really what it's all about. And in terms of any pressures around that, the only pressure that was really there was in terms of our focus on our performance levels. And we knew what we wanted to achieve yesterday. We knew what we wanted to achieve the 2 weeks before. And when you deliver on those tangible elements of the game, there is, as you say, great satisfaction.
Declan, you made an unbelievable speech yesterday, and it's been shared quite a bit on social media. You touched on the importance of the hurling championship this year, a tough year for so many people. How good was it for you personally to have hurling, to have this outfit, to have this outlet, to have this ability to go out and play with your friends and lads you've played with for the last few years, and to do it week in, week out, and to end up in this ultimate success?
Yeah, sure. Really privileged that we are to have been given the opportunity to play the championship this year. We were over the moon when we got the news that the club championship was going ahead and that the inter-county would be happening as well. Like a lot of us were even saying it, that we're so happy to be able to go out on a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday evening, whatever it is, to training, have that outlet. Whereas I suppose a lot of people have been booked up for the last number of months, and that's really, really hard. So like, we were massively fortunate, and we wanted to make the most of it as well. So thankfully it all came together yesterday, and we back to Limerick, we're just overjoyed with it now, and just again so proud of everyone involved.
One of the big differences this year as well that we've seen is that hurling is a four-quarter game, and Limerick have become renowned for their burst after the water breaks. John, I think the question everybody has is, was the big tactics board Paul Kinnerk's idea? Was it your idea? Who owns it? Who takes it home? And where does it spend the winter?
That tactics board is probably going to end up in an auction and make a fortune or something. Unfortunately, you need somebody to direct it, and we're very fortunate in that we have Paul is a phenomenal coach and a great guy as well to boot, and we've a great chemistry going on between us all, involved with the team at the moment, and very fortunate to have that. But listen, the tactics board is just simply an educational aid. That's all it is. That's all. And rather than speaking about the tactics like every other team does, we show the tactics, or we demonstrate what we're looking for. So instead of verbalizing it, all we're doing is visualizing it. And I suppose that comes really from the fact that Paul is a teacher, I'm involved in education, Alan Cunningham, Angus O'Brien, we're all involved in education. So for us to go and use visual aids is not something unusual or different. In fact, we're just trying to make our job a little bit easier, that's all. And that's the simple facts of the matter.
Who's leading the conversations during those water breaks that have become so renowned at this point? Is it yourself? Is it Paul? Are those conversations had beforehand as to how you actually approach those water breaks and how you actually distill your communication down into whatever, 30, 40 seconds?
Listen, it's a fluid situation, but Paul, does lead out. Paul would have his couple of points that he wants to make to the group, from a tactical perspective. And, I'm sure you can see that yourselves from watching the games and watching what the cameras are showing. And I probably come in then maybe with the little bit of, soul searching, if you like, and maybe finding that little edge sometimes that might be required, but listen, it doesn't matter. It's all about just getting the message to the players and utilising the time we have available to us in those water breaks as best we can. Those water breaks will be gone next year, and we can get back to normality. There'll be no water breaks. It'll be just straight run through for 37, 38 minutes. We'll have much better to have time inside the dressing room, and there'll be no more talk of any of these water breaks or tactical breaks, or whatever you want to call it.
One of the great traditions on All-Ireland finals weekend and on the Monday and the weeks leading after them is the fact that Liam MacCarthy and Sam Maguire goes and visits the children's wards around Dublin. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, that's not going to happen this year, but we're going to do our best this morning to try and replicate that a little bit. And we are delighted to welcome Leo Scanlon, who's 13 years old and also of the Nafina Club in Dublin, to OTB AM this morning. Leo, good morning to you. How are you getting on?
Hi, I'm doing great.
Were you watching the hurling yesterday?
Yeah, I was.
Who were you shouting for?
No team really, but I think Limerick deserved it in the end.
They did indeed.
Well done.
Who was the best player on the park in your opinion?
I'd have to say Declan. He's here.
Good answer indeed. Declan Hannon is on the line. Are you chuffed with that?
Fair play, yeah.
So, unfortunately, we can't bring Liam MacCarthy into the ward there this morning. But as I said, Declan is there on the line, and John Kiely, the Limerick manager, is there on the line. Declan, I mean, you were lucky enough to bring the cup into the ward there 2 years ago. This is just a fantastic morning. It's a fantastic tradition, and it's great to get some brilliant feedback as well. It
is. That's the best feedback I've got in a while now. I appreciate it. Yeah, geez, we had a lovely morning in Crumlin 2 years ago. It was fabulous to go in there and to meet the kids and all the staff in there. They're people works that they do. So yeah, it's a pity I can't go in today, but I suppose look, this is the next best thing at the minute.
Leo, is there anything you wanted to ask John Kiely about the managerial masterclass that we saw yesterday?
In 2020, was it scarier walking out than in 2018 when you had all the crowds, or was it kind of a bit more nerve-wracking with no one there?
Good morning, Leo. How are you? It was absolutely nerve-wracking. Yes, it was. Even with nobody, the same pressure still are there. You're worried as to whether the team will get that performance that you're looking for, that they're looking for. You're watching every catch, every touch, every puck in the warm-up. See, are they okay? Are they getting through it? With the level of sharpness and crispness that you'd like to see. And it was gas yesterday. It wasn't maybe our best warm up actually of the year, and yet they end up producing the performance of the year. So, yeah, just it was. You're always concerned. You're always concerned, and we're just delighted that we got across the line yesterday. And yeah, we'd love to be with you today. It was one of the highlights for me actually in 2018, the morning after the All-Ireland, heading into Crumlin. It's a tradition, a great tradition, and it's one that we hope that we can reinstate as soon as possible. And maybe in the springtime, we might make a journey to Dublin and come and visit the kids that are there at that stage, because it's something that needs to be kept going. There's no doubt about that.
Leo, I hear yourself and your dad are massive GAA fans, and being a Nafina man, I'm sure you're a massive Dublin football fan. Do you see similarities, Leo, between this Limerick side and the great Dublin football side at the moment? Do you think they can go and dominate for the next few years?
Yeah, I think they can. I think they have there are a lot of similarities. Good in kind of quick passing and getting the ball up the pitch and using the opportunities.
So what are we
thinking? I think they can.
What are we thinking, so Leo? 5, 6 in a row for Limerick?
Maybe.
No pressure, John. We've just got a dynasty to build over the next little while.
Yeah, listen, this man knows his stuff, obviously. So we'll take him at his word.
See, the thing is, Leo, Nathan here is trying to deflect from the fact that Dublin are going to hammer his beloved Mayo this weekend. You're obviously going to be shouting for the Dubs in that one. Are you confident that they're going to get the job done this weekend as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think the forwards are going to do it for us against the Mayo backs.
I wouldn't be
Don't be saying
surprised at
that,
all.
Leo. Don't be saying that. Give us something. Give us something. Come on, we need it. How much have you enjoyed the last few weeks, Leo? You're obviously a huge GAA fan. There's been 4 or 5 games on every weekend.
Sorry,
Have you
what
been watching
was it?
the last 4 or 5 weekends? There's been so much GAA on the TV. Have you been sitting down? Have you been watching as much of it as possible?
Yeah, I've been watching loads of it. We have a TV in the ward, so I was able to watch all the finals and the semi-finals.
Brilliant.
Good stuff. It has been brilliant. Leo, it's been great chatting to you. All the best, and best of luck to Dublin, most importantly, this weekend. Hopefully, from your perspective, it's 6 in a row, and we'll have a disappointed Nathan Murphy this time next week.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thanks
Leo.
for having me.
Look after yourself. Bye-bye now.
Leo. Bye-bye.
We
Good luck, Leo.
still have Declan and John with us. And John, this is obviously, as you mentioned there, one of the great days in the Irish calendar. As great as All-Ireland Hurling final day is, it is the days afterwards. And Jack McCaffrey, after the football final last year, kind of really put it so well when he said that people can throw sport out as this thing that gets put into perspective when you walk into Crumlin or you walk into Temple Street from his own perspective. But he actually said that it absolutely highlights the vitalness of sport and how important it is and how central it is to everybody's life. I presume you share that view, especially the year that we've had.
Sure, listen, I suppose it's always been our little bit of escapism, if you like, from the realities of life. And, you know, when you pick up a hurley and you go into a wall ball or a handball alley or out on a pitch, you can be there on your own or you can be there with 50 others. And yet it has that magical sensation, you know, and we can never forget that feeling you get, you know, as a child when you are out there on the pitch, you know, just hurling with your friends. It's a great game, and, you know, all the games are fantastic, like whether it be football or hurling, soccer, rugby, it doesn't matter. You know, it's really important that people get out there and get involved in sport because it's a great release, and we've seen that and the importance of it over the last number of weeks in particular, you know, how important it has been for our older population in particular who are cocooning at home and, you know, have been there for the last 8-9 months, and for them to have that opportunity to sit down and watch the matches over the last 2-3 months has, you know, dragged them through the winter, if you like. And here we are now approaching Christmas, and be you from Limerick or Waterford or Cork or Tipperary or wherever you're from, if you're interested in GAA, you know, this has been an opportunity to help you get through the winter, you know, particularly people that live on their own. I think this has been something maybe that they've clung on to as something that will get them through this thing. You know, it's hopefully now after Christmas, we get into New Year, the vaccine will be rolled out to the older people. They can come back and re-engage themselves in life, and as a community, as a society, we can all get back to reality and get back to going to matches, get back to going to concerts, get back to going into people's homes and getting back into our family homes again. And yeah, we can't wait for it now, to be honest with you. You know, it's we really need to get this vaccine now and get on with life again. So looking forward to that and getting people back into stadiums again and listening to the roar. Like, I'd say players will just, their hair will stand in the back of their head the next time they go out on the pitch and there's a crowd of 30 or 40,000 there roaring them on, because, you know, that sensation, you know, we miss it. Players miss it. Everybody misses it, you know, because ultimately the essence is about the collective, you know, the county, the people, and the people that are living in it. So we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah. Declan, from your perspective then, just to wrap up on this, how kind of excited are you for that as All-Ireland champions, hopefully being able to defend that title in front of full stadiums again next year? The excitement that, you know, that you look around the dressing room and there's a really, really good age profile in that team. You mentioned in your speech yesterday how good they are off the pitch as lads as well as they are on it, that it just seems like a really positive thing to be involved in at the moment, Limerick hurling, and with the age profile, a very exciting thing to be involved in. Yeah,
it is, of course. Like, I mean, yeah, the boys are fantastic ambassadors for Limerick, both on and off the field. They're a credit to themselves. I think we can't wait to get the Limerick supporters back in the stadium. We have a great relationship with them. They're unbelievable, the noise they make and everything, and we definitely miss it. So like, we cannot wait until there's 30 or 40 or 50,000 people in the stadium, and hopefully again Limerick will roll into next year and continue to work hard, and we'll see where it takes us then.
So what happens over the next few days then, Declan? How many substantial meals are you going to consume? What is the plan going to be?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm not sure, but we'll let you know.
Is that not the duty of the captain to actually be the event planner as well?
I'm off the clock now at the minute. Someone else will take up that.
It's not the manager's job either, so I haven't to do it. There was no...
A few more renditions of Piano Man, John.
Well, as you can tell, my voice has only got one rendition a year in it, so we've had it since 2020. That's it.
John, from your own perspective, do you go back to school then soon? Is it back in tomorrow? Do you have the week off?
Oh God, I don't have the week off. No. Listen, I'll be honest, I'm looking forward to getting back in. You know, our lads. It's an all-boys school, and the boys are very sporting orientated, I suppose. And I'm looking forward to getting back out in the yard with the boys and watching them poking balls around the yard and seeing our Christmas tournaments progressing. You know, the Christmas exams are finished since Friday, so yeah, no, listen, I'll be back in work, you know, maybe later on today or tomorrow. So it's back to normality and drive on. You know, we've got a job work to do off the pitch. As much as there's a great interest in what goes on off the pitch, or on the pitch, you know, listen, we've got our day jobs and we've got to get back to them and we've got to work hard. That's it.
Well, listen, it's been great chatting to you both this morning. Congratulations on the success yesterday. Congratulations on looking so fresh this morning. It's a real achievement. Declan Hannon, John Kiely, thanks a million for taking the call.
Well done, lads.
Cheers.
I don't know how true that is.
You got a good angle there, John.
That is Limerick manager John Kiely and, of course, Limerick captain Declan Hannon speaking after they went 2 All-Ireland victories from 3 years, and it looks like the future is green. That's certainly what we get from the back pages this morning as well. A brilliant performance from them, getting the edge over Waterford in the All-Ireland yesterday. Delighted now at 9:47 on this Monday morning to welcome Tracy Wall, who is Director of Nursing at Children's Health Ireland in Crumlin, to OTB AM. Tracy, good morning to you. How are you doing?
Good, I'm great. Good morning to all you guys. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks. I've heard that there are 2 particularly happy Limerick people in the vicinity this morning.
There's lots of happy Limerick people this morning. Great match yesterday, enjoyed by all, and great excitement here in Crumlin for all of those who support the Limerick County and the hurlers.
This is, as we've been saying, one of the great moments every year. One of the great things that the All-Ireland champions do as a matter of tradition every year is to get to Crumlin. How much does this matter every single year, seeing Liam MacCarthy paraded through and Sam Maguire paraded through, and how much is going to be missed this year?
So it's a fantastic tradition, as you've just said there. Each year we get to see the winning teams, and obviously the cups come along with them, and it lifts the hospital in its entirety, I have to say, from the boys and girls right up to the staff. It's a tradition that we look forward to every year, and the atmosphere in Crumlin on these particular days is always electric. It's wonderful to see, particularly the children leading up to the championship finals, supporting their counties and wearing their colours, and then for them to have the opportunity maybe to meet some of their heroes and get the opportunity to meet Liam or Sam is really, really good. And it changes the whole conversation for children who might be quite sick or undergoing quite intense treatment, that suddenly they're phoning home to say, you know, with different news, that they've met their hero, they've a photo for their granny or for their daddy or whoever's not here of them holding the trophy. So this year is different, but look, everything I suppose has taken a different slant. So we're hopeful that we'll be able to do something a little bit different as we're doing virtually right now this morning and next week as well. But that doesn't mean that the hospital isn't populated by lots of boys and girls over the weekend supporting their colours.
Donations are unbelievably important as well at this time of the year, Tracy, and this year in particular. And I'd urge everybody who can help, I'd love to direct them to cmrf.org. That's cmrf.org. How important are those donations, Tracy, to how you guys operate, to the brilliant work that you do every single day?
Yeah, and they're really, really important for us to I suppose, make Crumlin the special place that it is. And it is a special place, but December is really festive here. And the staff here in Crumlin make huge efforts to make sure that the children who attend the hospital over the month of December, often just leave with a gift or a toy or something that lifts their spirits and reminds them of Christmas. We've got about 6 outdoor gardens that have lit up the hospital, because this year we couldn't have indoor Christmas trees and lights. So we just thought outside the box. Huge thanks to our estates team here, who've really gone above and beyond to make sure that any child and their family who's in a ward or maybe confined to their bed can look out into the garden and see a little bit of festivity. And all of those things happen because we have great donors. We have great people who go out and they'll swim a mile or they'll run a marathon for us, and it just allows us to make the children's time in Crumlin Hospital that extra bit special. The kids are our heroes at the end of the day. They're absolutely fantastic, and possibly around 100 children will sleep here on Christmas Eve night because they're in the middle of medication or treatment that they just can't go home. So the staff here in Crumlin make huge efforts Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, to make sure that Christmas feels like Christmas. And of course, Santa will visit every boy and girl here for sure.
We were chatting to Leo a moment ago, obviously a huge GAA fan. Do you get that sense on All-Ireland final day, and not just the days afterwards, but on the day of the match, that it's a big occasion in Crumlin?
Absolutely, it's a huge occasion, and again, it's the staff and the patients and their families that really get behind the patients. Some of the patients' rooms will be decorated from head to toe. If they support Cork, they'll be covered in red. If they support Dublin, they'll be covered in blue. And the staff and play specialists, we have a play specialist team here. They would get hugely involved with working with the children to make posters and banners, and it really, really is electric and lifts the hospital. And we're very, very proud of the association that we have with the GAA. It's fantastic.
Brilliant stuff, Tracy. It's been great chatting to you. And just a reminder as well that any donations would obviously be massively appreciated. The website to donate at is cmrf.org. Tracy Wall, Director of Nursing at Children's Health Ireland in Crumlin, thanks a million for hopping on the call.
Thank you. Have a lovely day.
Graeme Mulcahy, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
2 All-Irelands in 3 years ain't bad. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think they were a long time coming around. A couple of barren years at the start, so it's certainly nice to put 2 together in 3 years.
So we're slowly but surely, Graeme, piecing together the timeline of what's happened since Limerick left Croke Park yesterday evening. We're hearing that John Kiely had the party piece, the piano man. He claims only got 1 rendition, but it is about a 7-minute song, so it got you halfway to Limerick anyways. There was plenty of sing-songs on the way back. What was your party piece?
I have my own Dubliner song there, and so I gave that a rendition as well. So we had a good sing-song on the way down. A couple of gems there now in the group, and a couple of lads that showed up yesterday that you wouldn't have thought maybe had a song in their pocket, but showed up trumps yesterday. We have a guy, Ronan Connolly, a young lad that's after joining the panel, and he'll be singing songs now for the next couple of years, because he'll be first called up after his performance yesterday.
Who gets it started on the way down? It's not about the best singer necessarily, Graeme. It's about the first singer. Who was the first man on the train down who's like, right, let's give this a rattle?
John's always the guy that kicks these things off. I'd say to be honest, we didn't even make it out of the dressing room without starting to sing songs. So it started from there in the dressing room with John.
The sing-song is a reflection really on sport, isn't it? Like, talent will only get you so far in a sing-song. You can be the best singer in the world, but it's bringing a bit of energy and enthusiasm to it that's actually key. And the key, I think, is having a song that you can start, you can just join over for you. You'll see the cute guys will have a song like that. They know people will back them up and let people off them and have their bit done. It was a very different celebration, obviously, then, and we won't, unfortunately, have the scenes at the Gaelic grounds tonight when there's 40,000 people there. But as a group, we often hear of shutting the door of the dressing room and being together probably for the last time, quite often, because squads change, backroom teams change, that actually this is a very different type of celebration, but no less enjoyable for those actually within that group. No, I think it was very nice, just having the group together after the game and then on the train down, and then
I suppose being able just to go home, no banquet obviously, and just going home to your family and just celebrating with your family at home. Then in the evening, like it's obviously very different, but at the same time, it's still so nice.
That's the strange thing as well, though, Graeme, in a very nice way, is that hopefully from your perspective, this won't be the last All-Ireland that you get to celebrate, but it might well be the last time you actually get to spend some quality time with your family the very night you've won an All-Ireland.
Yeah, exactly. Like hopefully in 6 or 7 months' time, when the two teams do get to the next All-Ireland final, that they'll be able to celebrate it the way that we're used to, with fans at the stadium and with a banquet. As nice as this is, I think, like having no supporters there yesterday does certainly take from the occasion.
How satisfying as a whole was yesterday's performance then? Because it's been compared and it's been put right up there with some of the great recent All-Ireland final performances we've seen. It did seem that in many areas of the pitch you clicked very well yesterday.
Yeah, like I think the last couple of games we were a bit disappointed. I know we obviously had won the Munster final against Waterford and beat Galway, a great Galway team in the semi-final, but we still, I suppose, weren't very happy with our performances. We knew that we left a bit behind us, so I think to go out yesterday and really hit the ground running from the start and carry that right through to the 70 minutes, I think we were very happy with that as a group.
What has
a very different type of build-up, Graeme? Sorry, in that you mentioned the Barron years. Like obviously nobody building up to this year's final is talking about 1973. In fact, Limerick are going in as very strong favourites, and all the talk even ahead of it was that for Waterford to win, Limerick probably need to have a bit of an off day and Waterford need to be firing in all cylinders. Yeah. Was there a different type of pressure, did you feel, going into this game compared to 2 years ago?
I think, like, when we were kind of coming up in the same manner that Waterford were coming up to the game yesterday, slightly underdogs, like, but we like that, to carry that tag into that game in 2018. And I suppose there was a worry that maybe Waterford were going to do something similar to what we did to Galway in 2018. So we just knew that the first 15 minutes up to that water break was very important for us to grab a foothold in that game and take the running from there.
Right, at 9:57 this morning, let's go back to Children's Health Ireland at Crumlin. Delighted, Graeme, to introduce you to Eamon Corcoran, a 10-year-old from Cork. But your mum is from Limerick, I understand, Eamon. You're very welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Good.
So this was obviously a bit of a divided household yesterday, was it? Were you shouting for Limerick on your mum's orders, or how did that work?
We were shouting for Limerick.
Very good. Was any part of you thinking, God, I'd just love to see Waterford do it?
Pardon? Was
any part of you thinking you'd like to see Waterford win?
No.
That's the correct answer. That's the correct answer when Graeme Mulcahy is on the line. Who was your man at the match yesterday? Who was the best player on show?
Who was the best player on the match?
Graeme Mulcahy.
Graeme Mulcahy is the answer. and tell me, did you enjoy the game? Did you enjoy seeing the celebrations at the full-time whistle? The unbelievable skill that the Limerick players brought as well?
Yeah.
And are you a big GAA fan? Over the last couple of weeks, was it great to be able to watch these games take place, even though a few months ago we thought that they might not happen at all?
Yeah.
It's brilliant. And I'm sure that goes for you as well, Graeme, actually thinking about how jeopardised this whole thing was. To be able to give people all around the country that sense of joy, that sense of escapism, was another achievement that probably doesn't sink in just yet, does it?
Yeah, like I suppose from talking to people, you just don't really realise how much it meant to people having the sport at the weekend in the GAA. They've just played a fantastic part of the last number of months through the club scene and into the inter-county scene. In people's lives, it just gave some people something for the weekend to look forward to. I think that was huge.
For sure. So Eamon, you're speaking to man of the match, official man of the match, Graeme Mulcahy. We've crowned him this morning. Is there anything you want to ask him after his man of the match display?
Was the build-up to the match different because of COVID and playing in December?
Oh, definitely, Eamon. I think the build-up with December and with COVID, we were going training in November, December in wet, cold nights, and it wasn't very nice, and pitches were soft and wet, so it was definitely very different. And not having to be able to go into dressing rooms with your teammates to get tagged off and things, getting tagged off on your own it made it very, very weird for us, but still very nice at the same time.
Eamon, did you watch the match with your mum?
I did, yeah.
And was she going mad?
She was.
What was she doing? Was she roaring and shouting?
A bit.
And did you tell her, calm down, Cork aren't in the final?
No.
Will you keep shouting for us next year now, Eamon? Not Cork.
I will, yeah.
That's it. You've pinned the colours to the mast, so it's Limerick for Liam once again next year. Listen, Eamon, it's been great chatting to you. Thanks a million for taking the call.
Thank you.
All the best. Eamon Corcoran.
Have a good Christmas, Eamon.
You too.
Great stuff there. So Cork for Liam next year, but actually he's turned and he's actually going for Limerick again next year. And that is going to be one of the things that dominates the agenda over the next few months, Graham, going back to back again, and how much this Limerick team can actually dominate. You must feel unbelievably confident with the age profile in the team, and I guess how good this last year has been, that this is almost the start again of something brilliant for this team.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys in their prime really now, and obviously with the performances this year, we're obviously going to be hot favourites going into next year. But as we've seen in 2019, it's very difficult to put back to back with the calibre of teams that are there. The Galways and the Kilkennys and the Tipperaries and Waterford will certainly be back again. And there's anyone on any day really can overturn you. So it's a very difficult thing to do, to get back to back, especially in this hurling scene. So we'll relish the challenge, but I think it will be a tough one.
You're one of the outlads, Graham, in that squad now. Looking around, tut-tutting, I'd say, with the songs, probably recognising some of them that they're singing and going along with last night. I presume you're going to go back for another few years at it? You don't want to step away from this?
Yeah, and certainly. No, you couldn't. So we waited long enough for a success. So while it's there at the moment, and while we have every chance of it again next year, something you couldn't step away from, certainly.
Well, listen, Graham, it's been great chatting to you. Congratulations once again on the brilliant success, and all the best over the next few weeks. Take care.
Thanks very much, guys. Bye-bye.
Graeme Mulcahy there, another of the new All-Ireland winners with Limerick. They're second in 3 years, and what an exciting time to be a Limerick hurling fan. What an exciting time to be a Limerick hurler at the moment, because the future looks very, very bright for them. Just a reminder that we would love to let you know where to donate to help the kids at Children's Health Ireland at Crumlin and all of the children's hospitals in the country. You can go to cmrf.org. That is cmrf.org. We'll be doing the same thing again next Monday on OTB AM after the All-Ireland football final.